guys, Lady here, and today we're gonna check the evolution of the MacBook. We have done it for the iPhone, for the iPad, but MacBooks now are one of the most powerful laptops in the world, mostly talking about the M4 MacBook Pro, but the MacBook Air is not far behind. In fact, many people are using them for daily tasks, when they're coding, editing videos, big projects, and everything else. But MacBooks now are not what they used to be, let's say, in the 90s, where the very first one popped out, and that was the PowerBook. Yes, the idea of a portable device was there. You can carry it around, put it in a suitcase or whatever when you're traveling, but it wasn't as what you can imagine now. Basically, yes, it was a device you can carry it around. It was heavier. Also, the screen was smaller, and it looks nothing like design in today's laptop. But how we get it from a PowerBook to an M4 MacBook Pro? We quickly go by with the laptops that Apple started creating in the 90s. Here I'm gonna pop up a picture. This is what the PowerBook 100 used to look like. This is from 1991, their very first idea of a laptop. Yes, Steve Jobs was very young. He had an idea. He wanted to pursue it, to push. Basically, this is a portable device where you can carry it around everywhere you go. The idea is there because many people, when they're traveling, they carry their laptops. That includes me. I can go anywhere without my laptop at this point. Like, it's not like I'm doing that many things on it, but I just need it all the time to be with me. And he had the exact same idea. Instead of having these personal computers which you can move around, like the Macintosh, for example, you can have something a little bit smaller, more compact, so you can move around. Yes, as you can see, basically this laptop has the idea of the modern laptop. So you have the scroll bar, which is like a crystal ball, you can call it. It has this ball, and yes, it has a bigger screen, but these thick bezels, it's kind of like not given today's laptops anymore. Also, it was much heavier than what we can imagine. Even Apple's very first MacBook wasn't that heavy as this one, but we're gonna get it there. So tech specifications, they don't even comply with something like CPU, GPU. What is this? People didn't know what that was back then. So if it could run Paint, if it even was invented back then, that would be great, because as a kid on our personal computer, I love to play with Paint. Now I don't even use this app, but back in the day, this was a thing for me. Also, people were starting to use internet to figure out what internet is and what is it doing. So we have to say the idea was there. And honestly, Apple created a few of these PowerBooks throughout the years. Moving on to the 1999, when Apple made the iBook G3. Here we're gonna pop up a picture. This is what it looked like. So now, compared to the PowerBook, this most likely will look like modern laptops that we know today, because back in the day, people had no idea how laptops will develop. Well, Tim Cook now knows what to do. So basically, you see bezels got thinner. It looks lighter. Also, like, we don't have the ball anymore. It's just a touch bar like the ones you receive when you purchase an iMac, but it's built in. It has the Apple logo, like you see in other laptops who do print the Apple logo at the bottom. On my laptop, it's on the side, but it depends on the company. And to be honest, Apple still does this. Down there, instead of the Apple logo, they just put even if it's a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air. But we just have to say, it came in a variety of colors. And honestly, I have to say, for a laptop that old, it looks very good. Yes, the shape is a little bit interesting because it's not like the usual rectangle that we see in everyday laptops, no matter by the brand. But I do have to say, it has a handle. So basically, you can carry it around like a purse. I definitely can do that with my laptop or any other laptop at this point. That's why we have laptop bags. But you don't need it when your own laptop has a handle. Yeah, tech specifications, it doesn't even have like USB-C, any ports. What is this? Like, we don't know what that is. Like, SD card slot? Nah. Front-facing camera, kind of there, kind of not. Like, quality, we're not even gonna talk about. Selfies weren't a thing back then, okay? I believe that when Snapchat appeared, like Instagram, people started discovering selfies more and more. But I do have to say, Apple is definitely going in the way of today's modern laptops. Now we're moving on to 2006, where Apple presented not one, but two laptops. First, we start with the regular MacBook. This is what it used to look like. Also, now we don't have MacBook anymore. We only have Air and Pro. So Apple decided after a few years to drop it because it just wasn't the move for them and it didn't fit anywhere. Like if you have a MacBook now, what would be the difference between the Air and the Pro? It just doesn't fit. But also in 2006 they made another laptop that was the very first MacBook Pro. This is what it used to look like. I have to say they are similar. Now we're finally getting into these front-facing cameras. Yes, they started getting better. Also the battery was from 2.5 to 6 hours on a single charge, which ironically is better than what my laptop can do now. So definitely let you check its battery. But I do have to say, if you look at these pictures, you can definitely tell that they started to look like modern laptops. Yes, probably if you keep one of these at home, it's not gonna support internet anymore. If you call Apple support, probably they won't even know what to do with this because these devices are unsupported. So you can keep it for the memories, but I do have to say, slightly design-wise, they're getting better. Graphics are better. The display, they paid attention, of course. Nano texture stuff like this, we don't know what that is yet. So we can't even talk about the CPU, GPU, RAM. Still in too early for this. But I do have to say that yes, it's thicker, but definitely lighter if we go back and compare it with the PowerBook, because this will always be one of the heaviest MacBooks Apple, or maybe I should say Steve Jobs, tried to make. The next key moment for Apple's laptop developing was in 2008 when Steve Jobs presented the very first MacBook Air. Here I'm gonna pop a picture. We all know this iconic moment in Apple's history when Steve Jobs went on stage with an envelope and pulled out the MacBook Air from there. He said it's so thin that it can fit of these envelopes that you use every day at your office. And by that time, people were impressed because they never see something so thin and at the same time so powerful. Nowadays, so many technology exists that people are hardly getting impressed by something at this point, or at least me, as every year Apple releases a new phone. Same as Samsung, as Oppo, and many other companies. Every year someone releases a laptop, What is the difference? Yes, I do get excited when it comes to Apple because I love the brand. But honestly, it's just another upgrade from a device that already exists. But back then, this was the very first MacBook Air. So it had 2 gigabytes of SD RAM and 120 gigabytes of solid state drive. Nowadays, I can't imagine myself having a laptop without being at least 1 terabyte. Now, we're talking about 128 gigabytes of a laptop. But back in the day, there were no hard processing tasks. We talk about 2008. Internet wasn't that evolved, so most of the time people were just searching online, probably watching videos and stuff like this. They weren't editing videos because, yes, probably there are people who were still posting on social media while it was evolving from that long. But let's just say that software editors, like, what was that? People weren't that ahead of time. So 120 gigabytes actually was a lot of memory if you think about it, because there are still phones that sell with this amount of storage. So yes, this is when the MacBook Air started producing. From 2008 to 2012, Apple did many upgrades to their laptops, talking about the regular MacBook, which also had a unibody, also to the MacBook Air, to the MacBook Pro. But the key point was in 2012 when Apple announced their first MacBook, and it was the MacBook Pro with Retina display. And this is what it looks like. So basically, this was a key moment from going to a better display. Yes, it had a 13.3 inches Retina display. Also, it had 8 gigabytes of storage, and also now we can have not only 128 gigabytes of storage, but also we have upgraded to 256. Yes, this will affect the price, but finally we're looking to today's laptops. And you have to say, having a better screen does make a difference, because you might not notice it on your laptop. You see, oh, I have great screen. If you see a laptop, no need to be by Apple, that has crispy Retina display at the time, you will immediately notice the difference. Maybe my screen is not that good, until you see something better. If you see something worse, you say, oh, I have a better screen, just for the record. But yes, it was the time from this MacBook when Apple first developed the Retina display, and then they moved onward with the rest of their laptops. As I said, Apple kept developing their Retina display, and they used it from 2015 to 2019. This is a picture of one of these laptops that they look like. So this is the MacBook. It has space gray, silver, and gold. Now we have more variety of colors, and also look at how light they are. Yes, this is the MacBook, not the MacBook Air. And as I said, the Retina display keep evolving. We now have an option: 256 gigabytes and 512. So 128 wasn't an option. We all know this when we came from the very first iPhone. We had very little amount of storage now to a whole terabytes of storage on the phone. I'm expecting Apple to upgrade. I don't know if someone will need 2 terabytes on a phone, but I believe that there are people who have many photos and videos, so this might be necessary. And we're talking the same when it comes to the laptops. Yes, battery lives still getting better in every year, but what happened after 2019? Before we go to 2020, we have to make a few honorable mentions. There was MacBook Pro with Touch Bar, and many people were missing it because they said it's just like having a phone, so you can control everything with a single touch. Yes, other people complained that it's glitching after some time and they couldn't take good care of it, or at least they couldn't figure it out, so they were glad that it's gone. So comment down below, do you miss the touch bar on the MacBook, or you're okay with just being regular keys? Personally, I never experienced this, so I'll say I'm happy with the regular keys that I have on my laptop, and Apple now is not having them. Also, we had a butterfly keyboard. Core memories for all these who had them. We also upgraded more MacBooks. The MacBook Air as well received an upgrade. We had this beautiful rose gold color, so call it pink. It's rose gold, guys. And I remember when I saw this, I wanted it so bad. Like, this color is so pretty. I wanted it. Yes, back then we were still with Intel chips. Okay, some people say that they were like so noisy, like rocket ship, spaceship, and compared to now that these are so quiet. I can't say or deny because my laptop does make a sound, so probably someone will say it's like a rocket ship as well. But I do have to say, Apple didn't make changes until they stepped into their game in 2020. In 2020, Apple released 2 more Intel chip-based laptops, but this is a time when Apple took the partnership with Intel, ended it, and started making their own chips. 2020 is the year when we received the 13-inch MacBook Pro with M1 chip. Here I got a pop-up picture. This is what it looks like. So pretty much Apple took the production of laptops in their own hands. And I might have to say that this was one of the best decisions that Apple has ever made, because now their laptops are so powerful. They're used worldwide and compared with the best selling laptops, the top of the list. And if you look on internet, like search what are the best laptops for 2024, I'm pretty sure you'll find both MacBooks out there comparing with the top. So what it actually looks like, it has 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU, it has 20 hours of battery single charge, which is honestly insane to be still compared to what my laptop does now. And also it has up to 2 terabytes, which is great. Like, yes, 2020 technology has already been evolving, so maybe 2 terabytes won't be the best case for someone. We're talking about a 13-inch. So I do have to say, Apple is definitely starting something, and I don't think it will end soon. The M1 chip got transferred into the MacBook Air as well, but what made a difference is that next year, 2021, we received M1 in MacBook Pro in 2 sizes, the 14 and the 16-inch. Here I'm gonna pop up a picture. We're all familiar with this, we have seen the reviews. So basically it is the same chip, but it does make a difference for people who want a little bit more of screen real estate. Of course, this will affect the price. We have to admit it, more screen, more money. But at the same time, 16-inch, this is a great laptop. Yes, Apple at this point used to have before a 15-inch MacBook, but you know, someone might want a little bit smaller, bigger than the 13-inch, smaller than the 16-inch, so somewhere in between, but they brought back the 15-inch later on. You have to say, this was revolutionary. If you haven't watched the review of the MacBook M1 from 2021, go and do it. People still say that the M1 MacBooks are so good that, yes, maybe now it's your time to upgrade since they have the M4, but it's still such a powerful machine that you probably don't even need to do that. If you have an Intel, please upgrade. I don't even have a MacBook, but I'm telling you, upgrade from an Intel Mac immediately. Apple released their second silicon chip, the M2 in 2022. First, they put it into their MacBook Air, and then they transferred it to their 13-inch MacBook Pro. You can still buy these laptops, probably not from Apple because they don't sell it anymore, but if you find an authorized reseller, yes, you can get these laptops because I have to say they're still pretty new. 2022 wasn't that far ago, 2 years ago to be exact. So I do have to say these are pretty modern laptops. Should you upgrade if you have the M2? I'll say no, because yes, we are M4, it's so powerful. But maybe if you have an M1, consider an upgrade. If you have M2, I'm not sure if you actually need an upgrade. So, your decision here. Then, Apple in 2023, early stages of 2023, decided to put the M2 into their 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is what they look like. So, Apple did something when they even started making their own silicon chip. So, it's not only M1, they have M1 Pro and M1 Max, even more powerful, and they carried it on. We have M2, M2 Pro, and M2 Max. It can go up to 12 core GPU, 38 core CPU, 96 unified memory, up to 8 terabytes of storage, and 22 hours of battery life. Battery life keeps evolving. That is in single charge. So I have to say, Apple is definitely upgrading. But what else did it have for us? 2023 didn't end with the release of the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros with M2. At the WWDC, they finally announced the MacBook Air 15-inch. This is what it looks like. It had a variety of colors. You can still get it everywhere. So basically, we actually didn't have the 15-inch laptop. We have 13-inch, we had 14, 60, but no 50. So it kind of fits perfectly. Now we have from 13 to 16-inch laptops. Your variety of choosing, and also depending on what laptop do you want. Do you want the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro? The MacBook Air is becoming so powerful that, yes, there still has differences to the MacBook Pro, but honestly, since they have such power in such a lighter device, it's kind of hard to recommend which one should you get. Really depends on your needs and exactly what type of projects you're running into your laptops. But also, at the Scary Fast event, Apple didn't stop there. They announced brand new MacBook Pro with M3. This is what it looks like. I still can't understand why they released two MacBook Pros in the same year. It's not even in like 1 year distance. It's literally just a few months. People who got the M2 MacBook Pros in the beginning of the year, they were like, oh, I just got it. They didn't even use it for a full year, and they had to upgrade if they wanted to the M3 in October. And I have to say, it's getting impressive. It's already up to 60 core of GPU, 40 core of CPU. We also have to 22 hours of battery, 128 gigabytes of unified memory. Why do we need so much? And it's still up to 8 terabytes. I did expect them to go maybe up to 16, but Apple will probably do this eventually. I don't know who needs 16 terabytes on a laptop, but there are people who do. Do you have to upgrade if you have an M2 to M3? No. From M1? Maybe you do. It's your choice, honestly, but I don't think M1 to M3 is that big of a difference. But again, Apple didn't stop there. Finally, the last laptops that Apple made were the M4 silicon chips. First, in fact, they were announced on the spring event with the iPad Pros. We all thought that the iPad Pro will get an update with the M3 because it already exists. No, they skipped. No, M3 is not that powerful. We need something more, something better, bigger. We're going to M4. Yes, that's right. Apple's iPads went directly with M4. And of course, this transferred with their laptops. So we have 16 and 14-inch MacBook Pros. Here I'm going to pop a picture with M4. It has the same specifications except that the battery life from 22 upgraded to 24 hours. You can get a whole day of work with one single charge. That would be a dream for me and a real big consideration if I should upgrade to a MacBook. Mostly because of the battery life. Because yes, I don't mind having mine plugged because it's at the table all the time. But I would like sometimes to just take it out, lay down, and just do it without all these wires. AK, it's only one wire from my charger. But I do have to say, going back from the very first PowerBook to the M4 MacBook Pro is something insane that, yes, the MacBook Air will get an update with M4 somewhere around in 2025. I don't know, will it be at spring, will it be at WWDC, or where else will it get updated, but we will receive that upgrade. Or maybe just like in 2022 when they announced in the early stages, maybe January, February, oh, we have a new MacBook Air for you. So why not just get it M4 if you want to know. We already have the MacBook Pro, but for the people who like the Air, we can offer you something even more powerful for your daily tasks. So will Apple ever stop surprising us in creating more and more powerful chips? Probably the answer is no. Should you upgrade, and from where? If you have an M1, maybe you should consider an upgrade to an M4. If you have an M2, you can decide if you want or not. From M3, I would say no. Why would you need to upgrade? Yes, there are differences in performance and boost, but at the same time, it's not that big of a difference compared to M1, so I don't think with M3 you should compare and upgrade to the M4. Okay guys, that was the video. Hope you enjoyed. Comment down below what was your favorite MacBook that has ever been released. I do have to say that since Apple started inventing their own silicon chips, I have to say I started liking the MacBooks even more. But I do have to say I like this rose gold color that they used to have on the Intel-based MacBooks. And I wanted one so bad, even if I didn't need such an expensive device at the time. But I do have to say, evolution is great. Like starting from just a basic PowerBook that was so heavy to a MacBook Pro with M4. Like this is like, if you track down all the specifications, how he grew up, like I have to say Tim Cook did a great job at Apple stepping into Steve Jobs' shoes. Like he developed the company to another level, and I'm pretty sure Steve Jobs would be proud of him if he saw him now. There is a reason why he said him as a manager of an Apple, not only manager, as the CEO of Apple. So I do have to say, great things are coming from Apple. Maybe M5 will make an appearance next year. I'm not sure, but I feel like Apple started making MacBooks literally every single year, especially with MacBook Pro. So we might see M5 somewhere, or we're just gonna get the rest of the devices first upgraded with M4, and then we're gonna jump on to M5. But that'll be the video. Hope you enjoyed. Please smash that like button if you like this video, share it with friends. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell so you'll be notified whenever I post new videos, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.